Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I have all these clips that I've been finding on the internet on YouTube this weekend, and I'm going to try to slowly get through some of them in the next few videos. So let's take off. First, Masterworks, one of my sponsors. When inflation's over 3% like it is now, contemporary art prices historically appreciated by 23%. Over $1 billion investing platform lets you diversify your portfolio with multi-million-dollar paintings without spending millions. The link to this will be in the top of this description. I personally have been buying it gives me, for the first time in my life, the ability to buy into these works of art I'm buying in at $500 a piece. And so every once in a while, I buy another piece of art. They come out with new ones like every week or two. And then I'll get my 9-year-old who is an art critic, and then you've heard my videos where he talks to me about the artwork. Usually I'm buying them based on whether or not he likes the picture and all the different reasons. But I'm not telling you that's the way to make your choices, but anyway. Now, I talked to you about Linda P. Jones. Now, you need to give her a subscribe. Linda P. Jones. She had Jimmy Valley on her show the other day, and I played you a clip from it the other day. But I found this clip, and I wanted you to hear this. This is about 2 minutes. Well worth the listen. This is Jimmy Valley. Man, I'm just telling you. This guy is over the target here. Listen to what he says.
We thought that use case...
No, but before I started, I want to mention this. Think about everything that has been done that I talk about all the time. We've got the Ethereum free pass. We know that there was all these secret closed door meetings to get Ethereum and Bitcoin through the door and block out everything else like XRP. Think about all the media attacks that have been done on XRP. Think about how CNBC will hardly ever even put XRP on the screen. Think about how it's like a runway of pundits to get on there and talk negatively about XRP. Think about all the crypto pundits who go out all the time and bash Ripple and XRP about all the different stuff. Just think about everything. Think about the South Korean prices being pulled in 2018 from CoinMarketCap. Think about everything that's been done over the last 4 or 5 years to try to take shots at Ripple and XRP over and over and over. Against that backdrop, his opening line here, and then the SEC lawsuit and the lawsuits. And he tells you right out of the gate, what I agree with 1,000%, is that you're talking a $10 to $20. He says without the SEC lawsuit, but you're talking a $10 to $20 XRP in the blip of, in no time, just if you take all these constant attacks away and all this stuff that's going on for the last 4 years, you've got a $20 XRP easy. And everybody knows it, folks. Everybody knows it. Now watch what he says.
We thought that use case, that if you didn't have the regulatory overhang of the lawsuit from the SEC, you would immediately see it at this $10 to $20 value. Just kind of normal starting use case type stuff. But we used, we were looking at the debt clock back then. We were doing some kind of, what if you reset the economy back to a gold standard type analysis? And the implied price of gold based on the debt at that time was about $35,000 an ounce. So it was this thought of you could see the G7 come together, right, and shake hands on a deal where their central banks will start trading gold again and supporting their own national currencies with on a gold standard, just like Russia has done, right? Mm-hmm. But that they wouldn't. It was too cumbersome in the world we live in today to be putting tons of gold on military aircraft and shipping them back and forth between countries to sell.
In other words, what he's saying is XRP could solve that transportability problem.
Transactions at the central bank level. So why not, price a digital asset? Why not use the best one, the most useful, and basically just tie that 1-to-1 to an ounce of gold? And that's where we kind of came up with this, concept that you could see some people sitting around the table going, we're going to go back to a gold standard. We're going to write up these assets. We're going to write up gold into what the implied price already was. And then using XRP to communicate that value digitally instead of having to actually do it physically.
Boy, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, I wanted to make sure everybody realized, do not forget that tomorrow, Tuesday, 3 p.m. Is going to be, and this court's in New York, so that's Eastern time. 3 p.m., and here's the phone numbers. You're going to be able to call in. They're going to be having a conference over the Hinman emails, okay? I think now they're saying that it's attorney-client privilege for Bill Hinman, but this could get really, really interesting. Now, crypto lobbying hits fever pitch as Bitcoin's favorite senator finishes bill, okay? She's going to announce this, I think tomorrow is what they're saying, and I believe that she's going to be doing it at consensus. That's my call. Well, here's what she said. Digital Perspectives put this out today.
To overregulate and to not leave space for innovation. Caitlin Long mentioned the Lightning Network. Right now, you can use Bitcoin as a means of payment. But a year ago, before the Lightning Network was fully lit up, you couldn't. I mean, that's how fast this innovation is occurring. This young guy named Jack Mallers with Strike just executed a deal with Amazon. So you can put your credit card in a machine, as the payor, the payee, which is like Whole Foods, gets that money instantaneously because it's converted to Bitcoin. And if they want to convert it back to US dollar on the other end, they can. But the point is, the float is gone. They're getting it at lightning speed. And so
you've been getting XRP at lightning speed since its inception. These people, I can't listen to any more of that. Look, XRP and XLM have never needed a lightning network. This is what I've never understood about these people. Oh, well, we've got the lightning network. You don't need a lightning network. We have XRP and XLM. They are lightning networks and always have been. One flew over the freaking cuckoo's nest. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills here, like Mugatu on Zoolander. What in the world is going on? Now, when my dad's told me, my father, who is the official father of the Digital Asset Investor channel, he said, listen, I've always made money on things that made sense. Bitcoin and Ethereum have never made sense. Proof of work has never made sense. It makes sense as a testing ground. That makes sense. Now, that makes sense to me. But they don't make, here's what makes sense. What makes sense is that for whatever the reasons are, is that they've never wanted us to look at XRP and XLM, and that those are the ones that are ultimately the ones that are going to be used to change the financial system. That is what has always made sense to me, and that is why I've never been lured in by this Bitcoin Ethereum thing. I've owned some in the past, and I own a little bit of Ethereum now, but it's more as a corruption hedge than anything. That's the deal. Now, speaking of corruption, you got to see this. Watch this video that was put. You want to understand what's going on with this Ethereum free pass and what continues to go on in the Gary Gensler SEC. Watch this and see if you can make. This is Gary Gensler, who he's just dying to protect you and me, the investors. Listen to this.
Just describe some crypto as securities. Which ones do you think of as securities?
It's pretty clear, and the Supreme Court has actually spoken about this many times. If somebody is raising money, selling a token,
start the Ether pre-sale in a couple of weeks. So the Ether pre-sale will be an opportunity for anyone to purchase Ether. Where Ether is the internal currency inside of the Ethereum system, sort of like the XRP and Ripple.
And the buyer is anticipating profits.
What we're hoping is that sort of similar to what happened with Mastercoin. If that slice is something like 20%, and then the value of Ether goes up by 5, then we basically have the entire initial BTC that we got all over again.
Based on the efforts of that group.
About 100 people that are working on Ethereum right now. Myself leading the protocol design. And we also have branding teams, we have marketing teams.
That fits into something that's a security.
Partially in order to better flesh out.
It's unbelievable. It is unbelievable what these people have pulled off here. I can only hope that because of the efforts of people in the XRP community, army, whatever you want to say, that these people get what's coming to them, because there's nothing right about what's been done. Speaking of, folks, this guy right here is a guy named Brett Redfern. He was the director of Division of Trading and Markets at the SEC. This is on June 7th, 2018, 7 days before the Hinman Ethereum Free Pass speech. Wanted to show you what he says. He already knows that Ethereum's going to get a free pass. Listen to what he says.
The chairman declined to say whether Ether or Ripple were actual securities, but is it fair to say that this is likely ultimately going to be litigated in the courts?
It's unclear to me whether or not that's going to be litigated, and I don't want to speak about any specific products. And I do believe that there will be statements on at least one of those products forthcoming in the future about providing some more guidance on that. On
at least one of them. Now, when he came to the SEC, where did he come from? J.P. Morgan. All right. Then you've got John Deaton commented on it. Grapevine DAI. 3 things. Redfern received a draft. He's one of the officials who resigned and left the SEC after supporting the lawsuit, mass exodus, that Grunfest mentioned in his letter to the SEC. 3, we know as of June 7th, Redfern knew Ethereum was getting a pass. Then he says this is the next day after Redfern says, soon we will hear from the SEC regarding one of the tokens. The very next day, this is Joseph Lubin.
We certainly need bodies like the SEC to scare many projects straight, to create a context of concern so that many different projects think twice and do their legal homework before releasing a token.
All right, so that's Joseph Lubin saying that people need to scare the SEC needs to scare other projects. That's a good thing. Then he says, this is after meeting with Hinman on June 8th, 2018. He knew he was getting the free pass. Who bought Ethereum between March 28th and June 14th, 2018? Did they have inside knowledge? Did anyone who purchased Ethereum between those dates also short XRP? If so, we know she knew.
We have many different projects that are consumer utility tokens and would not be considered securities. Even in this context, at this point in time, there's a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt that has been raised by regulators around the world. The SEC has made certain pronouncements about consumer tokens or utility tokens. Early statements were to the effect that all these tokens are probably securities. So the SEC has this dilemma. Other regulators around the world have a dilemma. The problem is that there are a lot of great projects. There are a lot of bad projects.
How does he know they have a dilemma?
There's a lot of fraudulent projects, a lot of projects that are selling what could and should be good, well-constructed consumer utility tokens, but they're selling them to investors in enormous quantities and quantities far greater than they could actually use. So they're really selling them as an investment. And so the SEC's opinion, from what we've discerned, is that those things constitute security.
How does he know what the SEC's opinion is from what he's discerned? Discerned where? Well, we know now. He was behind the scenes meeting with these people before the free pass was given. He already knows.
So we have a framework that enables us to sell consumer utility
How does he have a framework?
tokens, not in enormous quantities, not with discounts for large investors, not to investors. You essentially have to be a technically accredited token buyer. You have to answer questions.
So let's cut through the BS here. Behind the scenes, the SEC has given this jerk off a complete framework. They said, here's what you can do. He's issuing tokens at will, is what he's doing. He's got a money printing machine that they've handed to him. All of these JP Morgan affiliated people at the SEC have given, they've given him a money printing machine, token issuance. To this day, as I sit here doing this video, this guy has a money printing machine, token issuance, DeFi. He's able to do it all. The entire industry can't do anything. Gary could come after him tomorrow, but not this guy. This guy and only this guy, because somehow magically Ethereum's Nancy Wotas said it herself. She's one of the people that left that room and wondered what happened. Why not Ripple is what she said. Somehow this guy, because Hinman said so, this one's sufficiently decentralized. But none of the others are. But now he says it was just his opinion. We got these guys dead to rights, folks. We've got them. We're over the target. We know exactly what went on. We've got them. You know what it comes down to now? Is whether there's corruption in our court system. That's what it really comes down to. And if you see that, then you can bend over and kiss your country goodbye. Because if that's where this ends, goodbye USA. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that I sure hope all the world's a stage, because if this thing goes down the road I just said, start looking for a new country. I might. Thanks.